Hello and welcome to Dark Night Healing. Today I want to discuss synchronicities, alignment, and signs, basically. So when to know that basically you're on the right path. For a long time, it was hard to tell. As a young child, I knew there was definitely something different about me. I was used as a good luck charm. By some family members during card games, because whoever I sat next to, for some reason, they managed to win the pot that night, every night. So I was used as a good luck charm. Yeah, I was just different. Certain adults would tell me that I was wise beyond my years. You know, simple things like that whenever I came across, like, the booths in the malls or whatever, with the tarot readers, they would always come out and say, oh, you are an old soul, and stuff like that. So I always knew there was something different. My brother always asked me how I knew things and why I knew them, and I could never answer them. I just said that I just know, and sorry, if you don't do it this way, it won't work. I've never questioned the knowing. Even after he asked me that and I gave him his answer, I've still never questioned why I know. I know that's probably weird, but why would I question? It's just there. I just know. I need an answer, it's there. Not good at school, though. Can't do that at school. Regular life, yes. Not matrix stuff. So I always knew I was different. For a long time, I tried to suppress my abilities as I went through religious teachings and my religious phase of becoming a Christian. I'm very much against being an empath. They don't want you to use powers or witchcraft. It goes against God. Well, if that was the case, Moses and Aaron and them wouldn't have been able to do what they could do. Jesus wouldn't have been a healer. It is there. So I did for a long time try very hard and sometimes successfully manage to suppress, but I couldn't suppress all of it. My knowing, I could not suppress all of it. I managed to stop my visions and my dreams. Any healing hand power was locked up tight. Anything like that. The abilities that I had, I ran away from as much as I could, because obviously in knowing, you can't run away from knowing. So it just happens. But the rest of it, I locked up tight. Locked up tight, tight, tight. I was scared. And that was definitely from the witch wound, probably. So it's something that I'm healing now, and it's, as all things in life, take time. But since I really found out about being a projector in August of 2024, and finding out what my human design is, the learning to wait for the invitation and learning to take myself out of a situation as soon as it starts getting even minimally heated has made things so much easier and so much better, because I know better now. I can take myself out now. I know how to handle the situation. And because I've been able to follow my design and learn how to do those things and practice them now, the synchronicities, the alignments, the signs, like they used to come before, but few and far between. Even when I was trying, when I left religion and I decided I was going to come back to myself and my powers, it still took a long time for them to come forward, because I had blocked them up, and now I had all this trauma that was basically the lock and the seal on my abilities. So I had to open the lock. So now that I've opened the lock, and I've started living by not only my type and strategy, but my authority, which is outer authority, which is a sounding board. And for me, as a projector, because we need the sounding board, I figured the best way to do that was, because we're projectors and we're here to help the humans, so we need to project and get our information from highest source. So tarot readers is where I have been looking to, and the synchronicities and the signs, and when they tell me to do something and I do it and I immediately do it, and literally the next day it will say in the next reading that you did it, you're on the right track, good for you, and holy crap, spot on. They told me I was going to have contact with someone from my past. That fucking happened. It's been happening every day. There's been back and forth communication. And I didn't get upset, which I know my child was definitely shocked about, but I already knew it was coming. And I told them that as much. I said, that's okay. Spirit already told me this was happening. Spirit also told me how I had to handle this. And they were just okay. So, and I told them that I was very proud that they were communicating this in such a manner and being so adult about this. And so we are working together now to do that reconciliation with Spirit. Spirit's working with us, and it's happening almost instantaneously since I started working my design and living my path and putting out these videos for you. No shit. 100%. Spirit kept nagging me to put these out since I learned about human design in August. But I felt that I needed more knowledge. I needed to get all that book written down. I needed every test, every answer done before I could do this. That's just how my brain works. But they're like, no, you've already learned enough. I was arguing with Spirit. Don't argue with Spirit, okay? Spirit knows when you're ready. If they're telling you you're ready, you're ready. They're seeing something that you don't see because you're the block. And they're trying to tell you, hello, stupid, you're blocking yourself. And I did. I blocked myself. I was like, if I was going to be famous, I would have got the My Little Pony commercial back in the day. Yes, that's a sore spot for me. For people who don't know, I was trying to be a child star. I don't know if that was my idea or my mom's. I just know I was doing it for quite a few years when I was a kid. Gone to a lot of auditions, but none of them ever came to fruition, and My Little Pony was the last one. And I said if I didn't get this one, I was never going to go to another audition again. And I picked a new outfit, and Debbie did my hair, and that was my hairdresser, and I went in there with everything I had, and he picked the girl who refused to say her lines. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I was told everything from how beautiful I was, how I could sing, all this stuff, but there was always something negative, that you're too short. And believe it or not, I heard I wasn't loud enough from my music teachers and half the planet. And then I would go to these auditions and they would tell me that I was too outgoing. I'm not even kidding. It's so confusing for children trying to be in that industry, and I feel so bad for all those kids in Hollywood and all the stuff that's coming out right now, because I dodged a bullet apparently, or Spirit dodged it for me, because I didn't get one audition in at least 4 years of going to auditions. But now they're like, oh, well, you're not doing what you're supposed to. Well, after hearing all that, my last time I started getting interested in it, I thought about it after high school when I was just getting with my husband. and I took his stepsister to a rock and ride at West Edmonton Mall, and she had tickets and her friends had ditched her. So she asked if I could take her, and I did. I was being nice, even though she didn't really like me. I took her anyway, because that's not cool when your friends ditch you. Like, what the fuck? Kids are mean. So we go to rock and ride, and of course, whose frickin' eye do I catch? Just like that. No problem. A model agency comes walking over to me. And then his stepsister and her friends come over. And they take off, saying they're going to go off. And the lady looks at me and she's, "Boy, are you ever pretty. It's too bad you're so short. Where'd your friends go?" My response is, "Wow, you're so nice. Too bad you're a bitch. Find them yourself." Yeah. You kind of take offense after a while hearing shit like that all the time. And it really damaged my self-esteem. And I had a family member or two that would make fun of me, call me thunder thighs. I wasn't good enough. I was weird. Why can't you be like a normal girl? Why do you gotta like cars? Why do you gotta be more like your dad? Like, it was hard. But I didn't care. Like, even though it hurt me, it never changed who I was. I didn't want to be somebody different. I didn't want to like different things. I just wanted people to accept me for who I was. So now, after raising 4 children, I learned that all I have to do is be me and the right people will come. Society imposes so much information on us all the time, expectations, everything. From the moment we are born, we are programmed against our will. So, when you make the changes, I promise you that you will see the signs. You will see the synchronicities. And you will see how fast that stuff moves in. And if you're ready for it, you won't be surprised. You won't be shocked. Because you've manifested this. You expected this. You knew it was going to happen. You prepared. You did the work. And now it's here. So you already knew. So it's not a surprise. Because you planned ahead. And that's why it's so important to do the work and sit in it. Really sit in it. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it painful? Yes. Do we want to do it? No. Because we're trained not to. We're trained to push away the bad. Not transmute it and make it our own and put it into us and feel it and let it go and make us stronger. Because it does. It makes us stronger. It makes us a stronger spirit being. That's why we're here. We're here to learn these lessons. And as long as you're learning the lessons and you're taking what you need from the lessons, you will progress. But you do have free will. Remember that. You have free will here. And we choose to forget what our path is when we come here. It's part of the contract. We have to relearn all that. So, and you can choose not to do it. You can choose. You have that right to choose not to do it and do something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. It might mean that in this life you don't accomplish your goals and you have to come back for another one, but it doesn't mean that you're not free to choose. It just means that when you do learn, you have to make an informed decision whether you want to follow your path or not. Most people genuinely do, because life gets way easier when you do follow your path. When you are following your true path, it flows like honey or water or whatever you want to call it. I like to use these, now they're gangsters, and I use these two as an example because soul contracts. What you experience here on earth is what you wrote into your soul contract. So, you have Pablo Escobar, you have El Chapo. These two were huge drug lords. Huge, massive drug lords. Oh my God, so known, well-known, famous international drug lords. What was the difference between the two of them? Escobar was the #1 escape artist from prison. He couldn't stop getting caught. El Chapo couldn't get caught. Couldn't find him. Now they're both on the same level as far as being nasty drug lords. Well-known, famous. But if you look at what they're famous for, that will certainly show you the difference. Same type of profession, whether it goes against societal standards or justice or whatever you want to wrap all that up into. That's why I use because they're from the same world. They're from the bad guy world. But one was clearly meant to do that. It was part of his soul contract. The other one wasn't meant to do that. And he didn't listen to every sign under the sun because he kept getting caught and arrested. For me, I believe that means that one of them had a soul contract or the other one didn't. Otherwise, it's obvious that true, yes, Escobar was a horrible, torturous murderer and slaughtered a lot of people and hurt a lot of people and was not a nice man. And El Chapo built schools and hospitals and stuff like that. But that's also about heart condition. So, right? Even though he may not have been doing everything by the law, and everything he was doing was illegal by the law, he provided for the community. They loved him. He could do no wrong. Like, he made Robin Hood look like a pansy. So it comes down to you. It comes down to inside of you and who you are and what your values are and what your true purpose on this planet is. Because these are lessons that we're here to learn, and we've already agreed to it. We've already agreed to this, and that's where it's at. You need to take the time to learn who you are, or feel who you are. And that will tell you whether or not you're living by your path. Because the synchronicities will show up. The alignment will show up. The signs will not be able to be missed. And it will happen instantaneously. Almost. Like, obviously, there's still a time delay. Like anything. Radio waves, there's a 7-second time delay. So, as long as you're following your path, you can't do wrong. And you will know you're not on your path because things get fucking hard and they won't stop getting hard. Because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Some people are here for those hard contract lessons. They're here for those underworld contracts. here in this planet. And some of us were sent here to heal and elevate those that aren't here for that. As any, it's up to our person. It's up to our person. So really learn to sit with yourself and feel what you need to feel and become who you're supposed to become. And don't always be afraid of that. You'll know what's meant for you because it'll feel good, and maybe like it'll feel too good. And again, if you're one of those people that's on a soul contract that's here to, not do good stuff, well, it's still going to be really fucking easy for you. I try not to judge because everything here is a lesson, and everyone was sent here for a lesson, to learn something. Again, we have free will, but I have to believe that with all the violence and all the wars and everything that we've seen in this life and in this modern age that has exploded in the last 100 years, I have to believe that some of the bad is planned. I have, because we can't grow and we can't become different people if we haven't done terrible things and if we haven't felt terrible things, and that growth just wouldn't happen. We wouldn't learn lessons because everything would be peaceful all the time. You can't learn much from peace. You get really bored. So you're gonna know. You're gonna know what's for you. It will feel good. But even if you are called to a darker side, that doesn't mean that you have to do certain things. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain just because we all have a purpose, we all have a soul contract, and we all agree to come down here and learn these things. And what we choose to learn here on this planet, there's going to be some people out there that choose to learn to darker or way darker aspects of the human psyche that we don't see on a day-to-day basis. And I don't think that that's something that even the psychologists can even delve into or think about at this time, because then that would mean that everything does have a purpose. So it just makes sense for us to really think about us, and it makes sense to watch for the synchronicities and the signs that the universe or spirit or the angels are telling us that we're on this timeline, that you're on the right path, that you're in the direction that you're needing to go. And they will show it to you. And it will get easier. And the more you live in alignment with your path, it will get easier. So, judging people based off of what they do, what actions they take, just remember that underneath everything here that we are physically enveloping, there's another layer of us that has desires as well. And they might go against each other. So we have to be discerning in what is our soul contract and what is our human desire. And we have to decide what's going to serve our highest good. And what is necessary to happen, I guess is the best way to take it. Because a lot of people out there do a lot of bad things. No one would ever guess. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't part of what they agreed to learn down here. You know? When you start looking at things in a cosmological, astral, physiological, energetic way, things take on a different vibration. Because there's a cosmic order to things. And there's balance in everything. It's cause and effect. So you can't always, it balances it out, and it's not necessarily a good and evil thing. It's a balance thing. It evens out the scales. And sometimes, doing the right thing means doing something that is unlawful or illegal. So you really have to be discerning, especially in this day and age when the politicians are all corrupt and you can't trust most people. But you can trust yourself, and you can trust your guides, and you can trust the signs. Yes. So make sure that you are sitting with yourself, that you're really trying to learn more about you, because when you put focus onto yourself and heal yourself and work on coming into your true path and your true alignment, then that will help everyone else come into order. Yeah. Sometimes you need a monster to stop the other monsters. All right. Well, Spirit says that's everything. So I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok and YouTube. This video will go up on YouTube though, for those who want it. I usually put the longer ones on my YouTube channel. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can definitely message me. I'm also do tarot readings personally, so you can give me a message if you have any questions about that. So be well, and we'll see you next time at Dark Night Healing.